Hello, friends. Welcome to this first knowledge sharing session of mine. My name is Mukund Murthy. I believe in having a positive attitude towards life and always believe in keep smiling. I have about 25 years of post MBA experience in industry across different geographies globally. I have played different roles that you can see on this slide. I am also fortunate to be featured in a book called as Turning Points, written by a prolific author, Anvita Vajpayee. This is the recordings of my experiences, and today's topic that we are going to cover is about design thinking, and I'm going to walk you through about what is design thinking all about. And design thinking, let's do an activity. And what I want all of you to do is to visualize what images comes to your mind when you see the following. So let's get started. The word that I say is say a knife. What image comes to your mind? Hope you have visualized a knife. Now, if I say a macho knife, what image comes? A kitchen knife, a designer knife, a futuristic knife, a sports knife, an antique knife, a knife for ladies, or say a knife for kids. I'm sure different knives would have played in your mind. So let's understand why did so many different knives come. And I'm sure you had such variants of knives in front of you. But primarily the reason you had different knife was that you had a user in the center, which is basically the different names that I gave: sports, ladies, kitchen, futuristic, antique. And as I kept changing the user profile, the image of the knives kept changing. And this precisely is what design thinking is. It is a human centric approach to problem solving that helps people and organizations to become more innovative and creative, and that keeps users at the center. So this is a quick introduction of what design thinking is. This is this case study of a very slow elevator which was complained by the users of a sky-rise building where it was installed. And all the users who were using it kept complaining that the elevator was slow. So obviously the solution that was thought was like install a new lift which is faster. Maybe there are lifts that goes to specific floors in the building, or upgrade the motor. So different variants were tried, but still it did not solve the problem and it still remained the same. The design thinking principles were applied and all the users who actually used the lift were interviewed. That interview is called as an ethnographic interview, which is basically a open-ended questions about why you think the lift is slow, what do you think the problem is, how do I say to make it faster. So when all this was done and then it was summarized, it was concluded that we need to restate the problem. It's not that the elevator was slow, the wait was annoying. And hence, the solution using design thinking instead of the traditional ways of making it faster was to make the wait feel shorter. And hence, solutions like putting up mirrors where people can see how they look, play some music, and keep them engaged, or have an hand sanitizer was done. So the solution was changed because the user was kept at the center. Now, with this, let's do design thinking for you, whether you are an organization or an individual or a manager and you would like to solve your problem. So, the first step I would like you to do is to choose which product or services that you have for which you would like to solve, and what's the question that you have in your mind you want to solve. Second, you identify the users, which is the customers, and classify them just like we did the knife example. Now you can do use a market segmentation, the four traditional ways of geographic, demographic, psychographic, behavioral, and come out with kind of questions you want to ask them. Frame those open-ended questions, which is the ethnographic questions, why they like, what they don't like, what can be changed, and then summarize that and restate it and arrive at a new stated problem. Look at the lift example that we gave and try to restate it. Mind you, this is not just for customers who are buying your products or services. It could be your employees who is your users. It could be your suppliers. So whatever problem you have, you can put the user in the center. Steps of design thinking, keeping your users in mind. Step one is you have a challenge, which is the discovery stage, and how do I approach it? Step two is an interpretation stage where you will see what have you learned, how do I interpret the problem. The third stage is an ideation where you will see I see an opportunity, what do I need to create. The fourth stage is all about experimentation where you have an idea, you want to see how it can be built. And the fifth stage is about evolution, which is you try something, you try to evolve out of it and you streamline it. So primarily, if you apply this design thinking principles, you can apply to any problems that you may have and use this. With this, I conclude my design thinking quick introduction. Thank you for looking at this video. If you have any specific management topics you would be interested, put in the comment section. The next video I intend to put is all around 4 pillars to focus in any business and hope to give that video as well. Thank you.